There it is. In the Bible it talks about the crystalline sea, and the Apostle John in Revelation saw the crystalline sea. Well, that's the 9th sphere. And then you have Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, the Sun, Venus, Mercury, the Moon, and then the 8th sphere is the Moon, the Earth. And these are the rings. And Saturn is the Lord of the rings. And this is the emanation where we come from, the primum mobile, unconditioned consciousness. And we go down and we perform 12 labours. And we have 7 vices and 7 virtues, 7 everything, 7 days of the week, 7 musical notes, 7 chakras. These are the Ra's. You see, this is the radius. This is Isis, Ra, and El. It's all the same science. There it is, with the Lamb of God, Rama, up high, always. There it is. As above, so below. You've got to look up, idiot. If you don't look up first, well then how are you going to work out what's below? Man is the measure of the universe. This temple is the temple of the living God. It's made in the image of God. It's not made in the image of some blueprint found in some dirty old factory. It was made from the crystalline sea, from the primum mobile, where all beautiful forms come from. There is the analema. This is what happens, this figure 8 is what happens, there it is, analema. So what you've got here is, every year, this is the shape that the sun makes in the sky. There you go. That's the 8, the figure 8 that the sun makes when it goes from solstice to solstice through equinox. This is the winter portion and this is the summer portion. So you see this is much, much bigger. Okay, yeah, so this is summer starting from, so we've got, let's start from Aries. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. So there's your summer, and then you go down for the winter. And you get this, and that's the figure 8. The sun is always making this shape in the skies. This is Karnak in France. Notice the spelling, same as Egyptian. What are all these stones doing there? Megalithic stones in Karnak. Miles and miles of stones. Miles of stones. This is Konark, Karnak, Sun Temple in India. This is also in the province or the region in India, one of the biggest regions, called Orissa. O-R-I-S-S-A. Orissa is Osiris. Osiris is the sun. And you see these beautiful wheels? There's 24 hours a day. And the carvings in this temple are second to none. This was a work of art. This is equal to the Taj Mahal, Angkor Wat, Karnak. This is how much the sun was loved. This is the sun, Ra. See, people used to know the science and used to pay respect to the science. And they made these temples, I'll get to that word in a minute, to memorialize the God therein. This is the memorial of the sun and saying thank you to the sun for giving us life and sustaining us. Today, we just go to McDonald's, you know, and eat plastic poo, and therefore you've got a society of people who have got mushy brains. They know nothing. They look at this and they go, oh, look what the devil did. Oh, Satan is trying to destroy the believers. Look what the unbelievers are doing. Yeah. There you go. This is from the book Astrology of the Old Testament, or The Lost Word Regained, Carl Anderson. And he calls this the brazen serpent. Joseph, otherwise it is the sign, Sagittarius, started. Joseph became governor over Egypt, whose king are Pharaoh, the sun. And that's the path of the sun, the brazen serpent of Moses. There it is, the bow of Joseph, the bark of Ra, the rain bow. This is from the book This is from the Devil's Pulpit. People, if you ever want to read the best astrological treatise in the world, the Devil's Pulpit, Robert Taylor, Aries, and you'll notice that he's put the symbol of Pisces here, because what he's doing is very, very ingenious. He's actually putting, there's Aries, Taurus and Gemini, but you've got Aries, Taurus and Gemini over here. But the glyphs are not corresponding, because he's showing how the stars have actually slipped 30 degrees backward. They're always going to be slipping. They're always... So when we reach Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, the ram will slip over to here. And then in 4,000 years it'll be over here. So that's called precessional slippage. But it does not affect astrology, because astrology is determined by this point here and the angle of the sun and its light. And that's what creates an Arian. That's what creates a Taurian. This angle produces a Geminian. This angle produces a Cancerian, etc. There it is. Isis. Ra. Isis or nature. Son of sun. Ra. Aries, Taurus, Gemini. There's the sine wave. This is 100 years ago. The star, the moon, the sun. And as they ride along the ecliptic, the brazen serpent of Moses, they foretell and prophesy all the things to come. This is why the prophets of God were respected. Now have a look at this. Al-Tau, Taurus, Al-Tau. That's where we get the word altar. That's why the altar will always be at the top of the cathedral. Brahm, Ram, the ram. This was in Caesar's time with the three elements. Aum. Aum stands for omnipresence, omniscience, omnipotence, and immortality. Om. Means
mother as well.
Yeah, mother, exactly. There's the image of gold, silver, bronze, and iron. If it's not astrology, it's nothing else. It means nothing else. This is Pisces, iron and clay, and then God's kingdom comes in the age of Pisces and destroys this kingdom. We go into the age of Aquarius, where we go into the mind, and we become knowing ones rather than believing and doubting ones of Pisces. Pisces is belief and doubt. Aquarius, which is the shins, is an air sign. It's about knowing. There she is, Boaz and Jachin. This is the tarot cards. Please notice, Torah. I wonder why she has Torah. What's the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible, got to do with that role? Let's have a look, shall we? This is the key 10 in tarot. This is the 10th card. It's called the Wheel. The Wheel of Fortune. And you'll notice Yod, He, Vah, He, Jehovah. And you'll notice T-A-R-O-T is tarot. And backwards it's Torah. T-O-R-A. And then when you mirror image it, everything needs to be reversed. You have rota. Rota is to rotate, which is the wheel, which is the will of God. And here is the cherubs. Yeah, Rotary Club, that's what it's all about. Of course it is. The Rotary Club are not the Rotary Club because they just like the sound of rota. It's because they all go back to the wheel. Everything, because the universe is made of spheres and cubes. And you notice the bull, the lion, Scorpio and Aquarius. And these are the 4 faces of God in Daniel, Ezekiel and Revelation. The bull, the lion, the eagle and the man. There's a lot more there that I can go into, but we don't have the time. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. The world. This is the world that we walk through. We go through this world. Here is the... It does, doesn't it? It looks like a casino table, doesn't it? What do you think Russian roulette? What is roulette if it's not from Ra? And you take your chances by throwing a ball. It's all about those orbs and the wheel. These are the 22 tarot cards, okay? You've got 12 signs of the zodiac and you have 10 planets. Here we have the moon at 88 days, Mercury at 88 days, the moon 29.5 days. There's Venus, 225 days. 365 days is the Earth. 2 years is Mars. 12 years is Jupiter. 29.5 years is Saturn. 84 years is Uranus. 165 years is Neptune. 248 years is Pluto. And these are the cards. Let's start from the Fool, and that corresponds with Uranus, the Fool. The Magician corresponds with Mercury. The Empress corresponds with Venus. You can see the sign of Venus there. 222 days. There she is. The Emperor, you'll notice the ram's heads. The Emperor is Aries. Emperor means to rule, the king, the highest position. These allocations for these cards are probably based on Paul Foster Case. Would they be? Where did you get?
A few references. The last one was the one from BOTA, B-O-T-A website.
Okay. All right. Well, these have all been cross-checked. I'm not saying that I agree 100% with these, and I'm not a great authority to be able to prove that or to be able to. But the way I see things is the way they stand out to me, and I see that as the Emperor. I see that the second card. I see the Hierophant as Taurus. I see the Lovers as Gemini. The next one, Cancer, the Chariot. Remember the Chariot? The bark of Ra, crab, up at Cancer? That's the Chariot. And you see the moon symbology everywhere. That's unmistakable. No-brainer. The Lion, Leo. The Hermit, Virgo. And here they've got key 11, which is Justice for Libra. And that's a perfect allocation. It's fantastic. To get to Justice from the Hermit, you have to throw that card out. But if you were to leave that card there as Libra, and then this is Scorpio, Justice and Death, in the 8th house, and then if you were to continue in that logic, and you have the Hangman for the 21st of December when the sun is upside down and crucified on the shortest day, that would be Sagittarius. And what you would have for Capricorn would be Death, where the death of the sun occurs. So Aquarius would be that, as opposed to the Star, which also has water. So there's two that have water. You would place Aquarius there. The Devil I would have for Pisces because of the band. You see how these two fish, if this were Pisces and the band was joining them together, like the fish of Pisces are joined together. Not everybody agrees with this placement of the tarot cards, but I've put it up there, and this is probably the most accurate allocations for the cards that there are. But if you want to go along with my allocations, as I've done it uninterruptedly, that also works. Fibonacci, 800 years ago. That's the Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. Growth at 1.618. Phi, the golden mean. Notice the numbers. 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55. This is 1, this is 1.618. This is the DNA.